We're just waiting. We're just waiting.
It's a shame you don't
We're
have
just
enough
waiting.
tables to sit out.
We're learning.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I know. It doesn't help you. Right? It'll be better next Shabbat, but it's not going to help us. So.
Give me one more, baby. With you?
It's 6:30.
Oh, you speaking crowd.
Yeah.
Oh, let me sing Maya Fehayom or something. That'll get them to come over.
No, they're not coming over.
Okay, you speak them for, talk to them, and then I'll play them as they come in. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. It is our minhag here at Temple Chai to draw close. I know many of us have already drawn close to one another, but you're so far away. You're in the back corners. You may be out in the foyer. Let's get a little closer. Let's get a little closer. We'll have an opportunity to light Shabbat candles, to get a little grape juice or wine. But let's continue to draw closer to the center as we have turned towards Shabbat.
Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. Sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, sim, 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 shalom, tova uveracha. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Yeah, it didn't work.
There is so much that we can celebrate in our lives. So much. Shabbat is all about celebration. It's all about being very aware of the blessings that exist in our lives. This evening, we are going to celebrate a unique experience. A unique experience. A number of the women of our congregation have stepped forward to have an adult B'not Mitzvah. So there's a celebration. Tomorrow morning, our youth will have their own B'nai Mitzvah celebrations. And so much, I can only imagine how much family and friends. You're here to celebrate the B'nai Mitzvah tomorrow morning, but the B'not Mitzvah tonight. In the spirit of celebration, in the spirit of blessing, I'd like to invite the immediate families of Taylor Edelheit and Jacqueline Bickhouse, as well as Alyssa Boren, to come forward. Join Cantor and me right here. We need Shabbat light.
So we're grateful. We are grateful for this opportunity. That in many ways God has done.
And please, around the table, in the spirit of kindling
There's some moms here.
Shabbat lights.
Mrs. Edelheit, where's Mrs.
I don't know.
Where's Mrs. Normal and where's Mrs. Normal family, mom and dad. Mrs. Boren, where are you?
Okay. We're going to have to do a search party. Going to have to do a search party.
We're waiting on Shabbat for you. As you're trucking along, I'm singing this song. Come this way, the candle is burning.
Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer. This is good. This is good. Come on. Okay, so two of you. It doesn't matter which two.
Please, if you don't have some wine, please take some
We
wine.
want the moms too, but that's okay. Good. Go ahead and pick that one. Good. Do you want
Moms?
moms? Please. You can all share. Wonderful. Beautiful. Mazel tov.
Baruch Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu le'adlik ner, shel Shabbat.
And as we raise our cups either of grape juice or wine, this is a reminder of the sweetness that surrounds us. The sweetness of family and friends, and the sweetness of our unique covenant, and the sweetness, of course, of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzah banu, v'shabbat kodsho, be'ahava u'b'ratzon hinkilanu, zikarot le'maseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila le'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher etziot Mitzrayim, kivanu v'karta, v'yotanu Kidasha mikol hamim v'shabbat kodsheka be'ahava u'beratzon hinkatanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh Shabbat. L'chaim.
L'chaim.
Just a smell.
L'chaim. To lives. To the lives that we are celebrating this evening, and to the families and lives we are celebrating tomorrow morning and afternoon. Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks, Rich. And I hope you're feeling better.
You can have a little sip. Shabbat Shalom.
Kiva Moed. Kiva Moed. Let me see here. Thanks. Kiva Moed. Kiva Moed. La 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 Yom Shekulo Shabbat Kumrucha Harachaman Hu Yankileinu Yom Shekulo Shabbat Kumrucha Harachaman Hu Yankileinu Yom Shekulo Shabbat Kumrucha Harachaman Hu Yankileinu Yom Shekulo Shabbat Kumrucha Harakaman 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 Mayafa Hayom, to calm it down.
I'd like to wish everyone a Shabbat Shalom,
Shabbat Shalom, good Shabbos.
and for all of the families, particularly of our B'not Mitzvah that we celebrate with much joy. For those who are with us on this most memorable Shabbat, we welcome you here to Temple Chai and to our celebration of Shabbat and to this beautiful beginning, official beginning of summer. We are blessed with a gorgeous day and I believe a gorgeous weekend, but most importantly, this is a day of joy and of gladness and of honor, of celebration of Shabbat, and of counting of all of our many blessings. We'll ask, please, that as we go through our service, I know that many of you want to be able to capture this moment, to make sure that there's a beautiful picture on Facebook at the end of the night that you can share with all of your family and your friends. But would ask that you kind of retain that memory for yourself and have an opportunity maybe to share it in other ways as we celebrate together. In Jewish tradition, this is the time of counting. We are told that we should literally count each and every day from the second day of Pesach, of Passover, to the next festival of Shavuot, which commemorates the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai. This period of counting is called Sfirat HaOmer. And there's a special blessing we recite, and we literally acknowledge the day. And it's also a way of acknowledging the journey of our ancestors in the wilderness, our life journeys, and in many ways for our B'not Mitzvah this evening, their journey to Torah. So I'd like to invite all of us to turn in the Mishkan Tefillah in our prayer books to page 570. Page 570. And we prepare ourselves for the blessing of the Omer, which you'll see in the middle of the page, with a very simple melody. We'll begin with the melody and then we'll add the words. The melody goes like this. Yalla, yalla, la, 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 la. Yalla, la, 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 la. Yalla, la, 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 la. La, 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 la. Yalla, la, yalla, la, la, la. Yalla, la, 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 la. Yalla, la, 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 la. The words now. Hineni muchan u'mezuman. Hineni muchan u'mezuman. Hineni muchan u'mezuman. Hineni muchan u'mezuman. We are now ready to fulfill the mitzvah of the counting of the Omer, as we'll join in the words of blessing together. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al sfirat ha'omer. Our praise to you, Adonai, sovereign over all, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to count the Omer. Hayom, tisha u'shloshim yom, shehem chamisha shavuot va'arba'a yamim la'omer. This is the 39th day, making 5 weeks and 4 days of the counting of the Omer. Amen. Page 144, as we now begin to welcome Shabbat with the words of our Chatzi of our Reader's Kaddish. Exalted and hallowed be God's great name in the world which God created according to plan. May God's majesty be revealed in the days of our lifetime, the life of all Israel and of all humanity, speedily and imminently, to which we now all say together, Amen.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Amei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalama divra kirutei v'yamnik malchutei
V'chayechon
u'yomechon
u'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Bagalha, Bagalha, Uvizmahan Kariv. Amen.
Yehesh
Rabba Mevorach, Le'olam ulal mehal maya, Yitbarach.
וישתבח, ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר, ויתעלה, ויתהלל, שמי דקודשא, בריחו להילה, מן כל ברכתה ושירתה.
תושבחתה ונחמתה, תהמירן בעלמא, ואמרו אמן.
Baruch et Adonai Hamvorach. Praise Adonai, to whom praise is due forever. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Le'olam Va'ed. Praise be Adonai, to whom praise is due now and forever. We continue together on page 148. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chokhmah poteach sha'arim,
ובתבונה משנה עתים, ומחליף את הזמנים, ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמרותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולל אור מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, ומעביר יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו, אל חי וקיים, תמיד ימלוך עלינו לעולם ועד. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'ma'ariv Aravim.
We continue on page 150. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha, Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, Kukim u'mishpatim otanu lamadata. As you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai,
Ohev Amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malkuto Leolam Va'ed. Blessed is God's glorious majesty, forever and ever.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod,
Malchuto,
Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kavod, Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu,
be seated and join me chanting Via Hafta on page 154.
That's great.
Via Hafta et Adonai Elohecha
b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu ha'devarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinanta
Am levanecha v'dibarta bam b'shivtecha b'beitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shokvecha uv'kumecha uv'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchaftam
Al mezuzot betecha
uvisharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem ekol mitzvotai v'ten kedoshim lelohechem
Ahani
Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim v'yot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem.
Adonai Elohechem Emet. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Today's Torah portion of Bamidbar describes the Israelites' 40-year journey in the desert before entering the Promised Land. Early in the second year of their journey, God commands Moses and Aaron to conduct a census of eligible fighting men, those who will constitute the army that will conquer the Promised Land. Thousands of years ago, the battles were fought by able-bodied men. Things have changed over the years, and now our battles can be fought by both men and women, whether they are military battles or battles against the problems faced by many in society. When I sat down to write my Devar Torah, I really struggled to come up with a common thread between Bamidbar and my becoming a bat mitzvah. Then I realized that like the Israelites in the desert, I too was on a 40-year journey, so to speak, to become bat mitzvah. It was not that I was told that I could not become bat mitzvah. Like the women who were not counted by Moses and Aaron in the census, there was not as much emphasis and importance placed on a young girl becoming a bat mitzvah when I was growing up. In other words, it didn't seem to count for girls. For a long time, females were not even allowed to step on the bima. Obviously, times have changed. Growing up, we celebrated all the major holidays: Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Hanukkah, and Passover. I went to Sunday school and Hebrew school, and I liked it because all my friends were there. I even went to services on Saturday mornings, although I must admit that this was mainly to visit with my friends and to earn points to attend a Cubs game at the end of the year. When I was approaching the age to start preparing to become bat mitzvah, my parents gave me the choice of having a bat mitzvah or getting a new bedroom set. Well, I had my eyes on this beautiful, bright yellow bedroom set for a long time, and so I opted for the bedroom set. I grew up in a very Jewish neighborhood, and at the time, I never felt the desire to have a bat mitzvah. In fact, most of my close circle of friends never had one either. As an adult, with a family of my own now, I began to appreciate the importance and significance of becoming bat mitzvah. In addition to wanting to complete my Jewish education for my own personal fulfillment, my driving motivation was when my son Matthew received his bar mitzvah date 2 years ago. I started to think, how am I going to explain to him the importance of becoming bar mitzvah when I myself did not have one? I wanted to set a good example. I wanted to better understand temple services. I wanted to read from the Torah. I decided it was time to fill in this gap in my Jewish learning education. I wanted to be able to help him prepare for his bar mitzvah. So I signed up for the adult Hebrew class at Temple Chai. I often saw the class listed in the newsletter and thought about signing up, but always had an excuse. I was too busy with work, with family, and just didn't have enough me time. I finally decided, no more excuses. If I expected Matthew to study Torah and have Torah while balancing school and extracurricular activities, I thought, what better way to teach than by example? So here I am. It has not been an easy juggling act, but it has been a wonderful journey, even though it took me 40 years. When I enrolled in the class, I thought this day was so far away, and I can't believe that I'm actually standing here today before you as a bat mitzvah, and Matthew will be doing the same in just a few months. I also could not have asked for a more wonderful, supportive group of classmates and now friends. I want to express my gratitude to all seven women, 3 of whom are up here on the bima with me today, and the other 4 who are here to support me and who will become B'not Mitzvah next Friday. Every Tuesday for the last 2 years, I have met with these ladies to prepare for today. I have so much respect and admiration for all of them. I also want to express my gratitude to my teachers, Laura Upin and Ed Nickow, who guided us through our studies with care and compassion. And thank you to Rabbi Cohn, Rabbi Hart, and Cantor Simon for making my bat mitzvah a wonderful and memorable experience. Finally, I want to thank my parents who are here to watch me become bat mitzvah today. I have such great memories of our family traditions and holidays, and now being able to share this special day with you makes it complete. And I still love that bedroom set. I also want to thank my husband, Artie, who talked me out of quitting several times. And last, but certainly not least, Matthew, who has been my inspiration from the start. I'm so looking forward to your bar mitzvah in a few months. If your old mom can do it, you can too. Shabbat shalom.
In the spirit of journeys, in the spirit of long travels, we had to take those first few steps of obtaining freedom, of obtaining freedom so many generations ago. In effect, setting the stage for all of our wonderful choices and the wonderful journeys that we continue to take. We continue to thirst, however. We continue to thirst for peace not just in our communities, but peace throughout the world. So let us together recite, let us together pray on page 159, our prayer for the sake of freedom, our prayer for the sake of shalom. Together, sing the song of men and women joined in understanding and respect, the song of God's miracles, an earth protected and cherished, a gift for our children and the generations to come, the song of a land once ravished by war, now quiet and content, her soldiers home to leave no more, the song of a world redeemed, the song of peace.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh, Torah tehilot, osei v'eleh. Chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar b'kodesh. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children crossed the sea. They sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Oh, mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar bakodesh.
Okay, the service will continue on page 160. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu La Shalom V'ha'amidenu Shomreinu L'chaim. Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore. Baruch atah Adonai haporei sukkot shalom aleinu be'al kol amo Yisrael va'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, guardian of Israel, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. My Torah portion, Bamidbar, is about leaders, the census, and following orders. Everyone was counted and given instructions as to what to do. When I looked for a way that tonight's portion had meaning for me, I thought about an important leader in my life, my father. In 1987, I went to Israel with my family. My father was the oldest male on the trip. He was chosen to be the leader, to guide us, and to say prayers at all the important destinations. In addition to the honor involved, it was so special to see my father acting as an important leader. He was respected by young and old. He enjoyed his job and the privilege bestowed upon him. So many times he had us in tears because of the history and emotions involved. In my eyes, my father was a hero of Israel, similar to David Ben-Gurion, Yitzhak Rabin, and especially Golda Meir. When my mother passed away, my father, who was raised Orthodox, wanted my sister and myself to be counted as part of the minyan. That is one reason why we joined Niles Township Jewish Congregation, so that we all would be included. This made me feel so special because it was so important to all of us. My father and my husband Alan would be so proud of me for following through as an adult bat mitzvah. I started Hebrew studies at Niles Township Jewish Congregation in Skokie in 1993. My husband Alan needed a kidney transplant unexpectedly as soon as possible. Our daughter Amy was to be the donor and went through weeks of testing by herself at school. She came in from the University of Toledo and gave a kidney to her dad on December 21st, 1993. And 2 weeks later, still recovering from surgery, had to get back to college. I dropped out of class because I could not deal with all the pressures. Worrying about my husband and daughter and running a 100-year-old family business was too much for me. Alan lived for 12 years after the transplant and got to know his 3 wonderful grandchildren. Our oldest granddaughter, Ariel, had her bat mitzvah 2 months ago. She did a marvelous job and loves Hebrew. I wanted to be able to read Hebrew and follow along in the service. Jaden and Skylar will be having their B'nai Mitzvah in 20 months. By then, I should be more experienced and a lot less nervous. When Alan was dying, I told him that he could not die. He was my best friend. I met him when I was 17, and we were married for 37 years. He told me not to worry, that Amy and Jason and the kids will always be there for me. I never asked Amy and Jason if he said that to them, but it is true. They have always been there for me. My daughter Amy painted my bat mitzvah invitation. It is beyond beautiful and something I will always cherish. Jason answers all my crazy questions and tries to help me with any problems. Thank goodness he has lots of patience. Ariel lent me her brand new tallis for my bat mitzvah. She is my crafter and loves to do projects with me. Jaden is my Lego master. So we are always buying interesting sets for him to do to add to our collection. Skylar is my fashion consultant, and I feel she does an excellent job. She also loves to do crafts, so we start more projects than any of us have time for. Thank you, Paisel family, for listening to me, always including me, and caring so much. I love all of you, and to quote my son-in-law, you are all the best. I have to thank all my classmates, Kitty, Stacy, Barb, Michelle, Erica, Cindy, and Tracy, for making the past 2 years so enjoyable and having me feel like we are all family. Last year, when I broke my arm, you were also concerned about me. As I got better, you took turns driving me to class and making sure I was able to keep up with my studies. While living at the park in Niles for a few years before he passed away, my father found another way to help lead me on a new journey. He introduced me to his good friend Sheldon, who had taken a liking to him at the park. That helped to start a new and wonderful chapter in my life. Thank you, Sheldon, for giving me the confidence to study and never saying stop already. Thanks also to all my special friends who watched me study at Mahjong for the past 2 years and kept telling me that it would get easier. It finally did. This has been a wonderful experience for me, and I'm thrilled that I did not give up. It is a special feeling to complete something that is this important. Thanks also to everyone from Temple Chai, teachers and clergy, for helping to make this night possible. Shabbat Shalom.
With tefillah on page 164. Our voices are about to join collectively, praying, singing, chanting the first 3 blessings of tefillah, literally prayer. But at that point, we will have a precious opportunity. We can reflect upon the words of inspiration that have already been shared. We can look with anticipation for the words that are yet to be shared. We can follow along with the words of the printed page, all the way to page 181, if we so choose. Whenever we feel like the time is right and we have finished this time of personal, silent prayer, feel free at that time to have a seat. But now we turn to page 164. We rise.
Adonai sefatai tifach ufi agite hilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avoteinu v'imoteinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak ve'Elohei Yaakov Elohei Saram Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Konei Hakol, V'Zoker Chastei Avod v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula, Livnei V'neihem, Lema'an Shemo v'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch Ata Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah, Ata Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Michaye HaKol Ata, Rab lehoshia, morid hatal, michalkel chayim b'chesed, michaye hakol v'rakamim rabim, zomek noflim v'rofech olim, umatir asurim, umikayem emunato nishenei afar. Mi kamoka bal gevorot, umida malach, melech meimit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'nemanata lahakayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mechaye hakol, ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ugedoshim b'kol yom yahalalucha selam, Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon L'kol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon L'kol hashalom. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. V'to beineka levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'kol ein u'b'kol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Chasim Leolam. Chasim Leolam. Chasim Leolam. Chasim Leolam. Chasim Leolam.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
While researching tonight's Torah portion, B'not Mitzvah, which means in the desert, I came across a commentary from Rabbi Akiva and what he said regarding the importance of the suffering of the Israelites during this time. This struck me deeply as I thought about the pain and disappointments they were going through. Yet they still managed to find the strength to worship God and have a greater appreciation for the wonderful gift they received, the Torah. I then thought about how it affected me in my life. I personally have never been in the desert suffering, but 18 years ago, I did suffer a huge loss for the first time in my adult life when my mother passed away. I did not know if I would ever find the strength to move on. I was so lost. For a long time, I was truly not happy and dealing with my own pain. But one day, after many years of not being affiliated with any temple, I did find the strength to search for a greater purpose in my life. And in July of 2011, I found my way here to Temple Chai. I had found my second home. I am so blessed to be a part of such a wonderful Jewish community and have made so many new friends who are now my family. Just like the Israelites did in the desert, I know I can depend on them in so many ways. 2 years ago, I came to Kabbalat Shabbat worship with Ron and Cheryl Stern. Services included adults becoming B'nai Mitzvah. I had no idea that it would change my life. I was in such awe of the women standing on this bima, sharing their stories and reading from the Torah. Of course, I was crying the whole time. During the service, Cheryl turned to me and told me that she had become bat mitzvah a few years earlier, and then said, "You should do that." I looked at her and thought, me, become a bat mitzvah? It was a thought that had never entered my mind. I'm standing up here tonight because she put me on this path. Cheryl, I cannot thank you for all that you've done for me. When you sat next to me and introduced yourself at that first Shabbat under the stars, I did not know at the time what I was about to get myself into. Membership, sisterhood, WRJ, and so much more. I will ever be grateful to you. You are such a wonderful friend and mentor. The talit that I am wearing tonight was custom made, so it would have a very special meaning for me, and that I would always remember this night. The 4 corners I chose were for various reasons. One is to honor my mother with her handkerchief. Another is a purple butterfly to honor my grandmother. And another has my Hebrew name, along with my mother's, Shana Hannah Bat Shana Golda. And the last is a Hamza, which is to honor my spirituality. To everyone who is here to celebrate this special life-changing event with me, whether you've been in my life for many years or just recently, I want you to know that I appreciate all of your love and support. Thank you also for always being there for me, no matter what the circumstances are. It fills my heart to know I have so much joy in my life. You are all so special to me in your own ways, and I love you for that. Lauren, Ed, Todah Rabbah. Both of you are such wonderful teachers. When I began this journey, I was so unsure about learning Hebrew and reaching this day, but your teachings kept me going. Your patience and abundance of knowledge is something that I will always cherish. Rabbi Cohn, Rabbi Hart, and Cantor Simon, thank you for your spiritual guidance and teachings. I did not just join Temple Chai to come once a week or just for the high holy days, but to be a part of the Jewish community and to have a greater purpose. You have helped me achieve that, and I look forward to many more years of being here with you. To the wonderful ladies of the Bat Mitzvah Club. In the beginning, we all had our own struggles, from learning the Hebrew letters to remembering the prayers and chanting our Torah portions. I am so proud of all of us, and I will miss seeing you on Tuesday nights. I have gained 7 new friends and will cherish the special bond that we have created. We did it. And to my beloved mother, I remember when you gave me a choice when I was about 10 years old to either have a bat mitzvah or sweet 16. But here I am, finally becoming bat mitzvah. I hope that I have made you proud. I know that you're smiling down and watching over me and giving me strength every day. I love you and I miss you.
Please turn to page 363 for the Torah service. Hakel et ha'am, v'hanishim, v'hanishim, v'haksal, v'gercha asher bisharecha. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, and to observe faithfully the words of this Torah. And let their children, who do not yet know it, hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God.
sweet as honey are the words of Torah. And how wonderful it is to share it with this wonderful community on this most memorable Shabbat. As we will now join together in the words that we will, in fact, see before us in the stained glass behind our bima, and the words that proclaim oneness, the oneness of our presence here, the oneness of God and God's Spirit in our lives, and the oneness of all that we are blessed to share. As we now say, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai is one. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Our God is one, Adonai is great. Holy is God's name.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo. Adonai Agedol Ve'akora, Ve'hatiferet Ve'anetzach Ve'hahod. Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai Agedol Ve'akora, Lecha Adonai, Lecha Adonai, Lecha Adonai Agedol Ve'akora. Ve'hatiferet Ve'anetzach Ve'hahod. Ki kol b'shamayim u'ba'aretz. Lecha Adonai Agedol Ve'hakora. Lecha Adonai, Lecha Adonai. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, ha'olam omed. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim, al shlosha devarim ha'olam omed. Al shlosha devarim. Oh no. Yes, where's my capo? It's got hidden. Shalom, 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 shalom. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to those that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz ha'im ilam ha'chazikim ba'betom ha'pe'ah a tree of life, two poles that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life, two poles that hold fast to it. All of its supporters are happy. Shalom, 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 shalom. Eitz ha'iti ha'makazikim ha'betometeha le'osha. Eitz ha'iti ha'makazikim ha'betometeha le'osha. Shalom, 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 shalom.
We've had the wonderful blessing to hear many thoughts, inspirational thoughts about our parashah, of our portion for the Shabbat of Bamidbar. This is the fourth book of the Torah. In English, we call it the book of Numbers because it begins by counting, by taking a census. But we've also learned that there's so much more going on here than just statistics and of merely counting of individuals. Because the Torah goes out of its way to tell us that we should count L'mispar Shemot. We should count always by the number of names. And not only of names, but Bet Avotam, that we should know these names by their household, by their heritage, by their history. So we should know the names of the fathers and the mothers and the grandparents and all of those who came before them. To remind us that each and every individual was not just counted, but each individual mattered, was important. Each individual was there to make a difference in the world of what we call in our congregation Hineni, that we're here and present to make a difference, each and every one of us. And so Bamidbar has so many wonderful and powerful lessons of the recognition of the importance of our individual contributions, and that, yes, we all matter in God's world. So I'd like to invite those who may have the larger plowed commentaries, those that would like to be able to follow the parashah as it is chanted in just a moment. You can turn to page 905 if you should have the larger plowed commentaries in front of you or near you. We'll find the book of Numbers, chapter 3, beginning with verse 1.
Adonai Hamvorach. Baruch Adonai Hamvorach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bakar Banu Mikol Ha'amim V'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah. Amen.
For our first Kriyah and our reading and blessing now of Torah, we now call forward our Bat Mitzvah, Stacy Berliner.
Va'ele toldot Aharon uMoshe bayom diber Adonai et Moshe behar Sinai Va'ela Shemot B'nai Aharon HaBechor Nadav Ve'avihu Elazar Va'itamar Ela Shemot B'nai Aharon HaKohanim Hamshuchim Asher Milei Yadam Lichahen Vayamot Nadav Va'avihu Lifnei Adonai B'chakrivam Eish Zarar Lifnei Adonai Badmibar Sinai Uvanim Lo Hayuhu Lahem Vayichahen Elazar Vayitamar Al Pnei Aharon Havihem.
For our next Kriya and the honor of reading and of chanting words of Torah, we now call forward our Bat Mitzvah, Kitty Lowy.
Ta'amod kera devara bat Sarah Miriam habat mitzvah.
V'yadaber Adonai el Moshe lemor hakrev et mate Levi v'ha'amadata oto lifnei Aharon hakohen v'asher tu oto v'shamru et mishmarto ve'et mishmeret kol ha'eda lifnei ohel moed la'avod et avodat hamishkan v'shamru et kol klei ohel moed ve'et mishmeret b'nei Yisrael la'avod et avodat hamishkan.
For our next Kriya, the honor of chanting the words of Torah, we now call forward our Bat Mitzvah, Barry Circle.
Ta'amod Rachalea bat Hershel V'taivo bat for habat mitzvah likro et haTorah.
V'natata et halviim la'aharon ulvanav nitunim hema lo me'et b'nei Yisrael va'et Aharon va'et b'nav tifkod v'shamru et kahunatam v'hazar hakrev yumat v'yidaber Adonai el Moshe lemor va'ani hine lakachti et halviim mitoch b'nei Yisrael tachat kol bechor heter rechem mivnei Yisrael v'hayu li halviim.
There was one final note that needed to be sung at the very, very end. For our final Kriya and this honor of chanting words of Torah, we now call forward our Bat Mitzvah, Barb Green.
Ta'amod Asi bat Yaakov Yeshua v'Surol Rivka Ba'kor ha'bat mitzvah likro et ha'torah
Ki li kol bechor beyom hakoti kol bechor be'eretz Mitzrayim hikdashti li kol bechor beYisrael me'adam ad behema li yiyu ani Adonai. Vayidaber Adonai el Moshe b'midbar Sinai lemor. Pekod et b'nei Levi levet avotam lemishpechotam kol zakar miben chodesh v'amala tifkedem vayifkod otam Moshe al pi Adonai ka'asher suva vayihu ele v'nei Levi bishmotam Gershon ukahat umerari.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
In the presence of Torah and the presence of this wonderful community, our tradition teaches us that this is a moment that our thoughts also turn to all of those within our larger community, amidst our family and friends, those who need the blessing of refuah, of healing in their lives. So I'd ask at this moment that you call very close to your own hearts and the Spirit of God, which will be with us in this blessing, of asking for refuah shlema, for a complete healing of body and mind and spirit, to all of those that we take into our hearts and for which we pray. On page 371, Baruch atah Adonai Rofei HaCholim, we praise you, Adonai, our God, who brings comfort and healing to the sick. In our words now of Misha Berach. The ones before us, help us find the courage, make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. in need of healing, refuah shlema, renewal of body, renewal of spirit. Let us say, Amen. Ask now that we all rise together as the Torah is dressed and return to the ark. That Moses placed before the children of Israel, fulfill the word of God. Exalt HaTorah, Asher Sham Moshe, B'nai Israel.
Somebody told me I should look out at the congregation and just take a deep breath and take all of this in, which is what I'm doing right now. So, Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
And thank you for being here. I recently donated pictures, immigration papers, letters, and other memorabilia to the Illinois Holocaust Museum and Education Center in Skokie. These were bits and pieces of my late father's life in Austria, Switzerland, Portugal, and the Caribbean. The items were a testimony to my dad's ability to survive when many in his family, including his mother, did not. I struggled, I have to admit, I really struggled to find some inspiration from the Torah portion that we were assigned, B'midbar, in the wilderness, which describes the census that God commanded Moses to take of all able-bodied men aged 20 and over as the Israelites traveled the desert to find the Promised Land. Something, however, about the wilderness and the Promised Land began to resonate with me. My dad was just a teenager in 1938 when he was ordered to leave Vienna. The Germans had marched into Austria and claimed that country as their own. The Nazi occupation of Austria was marked by an outbreak of anti-Jewish violence, the likes of which had not been seen in Germany. Home to about 180,000 Jews, Viennese men and women were grabbed at random by Nazis and jailed for no reason, while police turned a blind eye to the looting of Jewish homes and businesses. No longer considered a rightful citizen of the city that he loved, my dad left his mother behind, who told him that things would blow over soon and the women and the children would be safe. And he set out to find his own promised land. That trek would lead him to Switzerland, where he was able to live in relative obscurity for 2 years, and then on to Portugal and eventually an ocean vessel that would take him to the Promised Land. No, not America. At least not yet. In the early 1940s, no one was welcoming Jews. Franklin Roosevelt had convened a conference in Evian back in 1938 to discuss the persecution of the Jews in Europe. 32 delegates from around the world attended this conference about the Jewish problem, but only one would agree to accept Jewish immigrants, and that person was Rafael Trujillo, the ruthless, murderous dictator of the Dominican Republic, who, for perhaps reasons other than strictly humanitarian, provided safe passage to 645 European Jews, and my dad was one of them. The refugees were settled in the town of Sosua, a tiny jungle land in the northern part of the country. Upon arrival, every new Jewish settler was given 80 acres of land, 10 cows, a mule, and a horse. My dad worked that land. He picked sweet potatoes, and he labored in a textile mill for 8 years before receiving passage to the next promised land, America, and making a home in Chicago in 1948. But wait, there's more to this journey. My mom's. As a 20-something-year-old young woman living in Chicago in the late 1940s, Sally began a pen-pal relationship with a man in a faraway land. Think of today and the internet. How she got his name is up for debate. The family isn't quite sure, but she took a chance, a big chance, a really big chance, and wound up traveling to the jungles of the Dominican Republic to meet him and marry him 2 weeks after she got there. I can imagine my grandmother. My parents' journey into the wilderness is why I am here today along with my brother and my children, and now my sweet grandchildren. My dad was one of the fortunate ones. Let us never forget the ones who were less fortunate. I feel so blessed to be standing here as testament to Charles and Sally's ability to survive. Becoming Bat Mitzvah today is a way to commemorate their journey into the unknown, into the wilderness, and thank them for providing me with life. Of course, I have to thank the clergy who have been so supportive for all the years that I've been at this wonderful congregation. Rabbi Hart, Rabbi Cohn, Cantor Simon, and our instructors, Laura Yupin, wonderful, and the fabulous Ed Nickow, who was so patient with all of us. You all accompanied me on my Jewish journey. What a special place Temple Chai is, a community of warmth and support and ruach, spirit. A special thank you to my kids, Alyssa and Andy and David and Zachary, who stood up here many years ago and inspired me to do the same thing. I love you all, and of course your spouses, Brienne and Joe, and of course my 3 beautiful grandchildren, Benjamin and Sam and Remy. Thank you, Terry, for encouraging me to do this. You're a special guy. Happy anniversary. A special shout out to my Tuesday night sisters, who are standing with me tonight, but really have been standing with me for 2 years. Stacy, Barry, and Barb, you rock the Bima tonight. Erica, Tracy, Cindy, and Michelle, it's your turn next week. I know you're going to do a great job. We are all travelers into the wilderness, but ladies, what a trip. Shabbat Shalom.
You can leave your books. You can leave your books. So how does the rabbi follow such remarkable words that have been spoken by each of you, shared with so much love, of the inspiration that has brought you to this night, of your families, your friends, of this embracing and warm community, and most importantly for each of you, the journey that you have taken, each of them unique in their own ways, but yet reaching this most memorable and wonderful night in your lives. We express our pride, our love, and also that you tonight have been a source of great blessing to us. As you've blessed the Torah and all of us bless you as well. And to acknowledge that a Torah portion that seems very far away and very distant and is very challenging, and it's about counting the men. Where are the women? But also knowing that it wasn't until 1922 that the first woman became Bat Mitzvah. And that was the eldest daughter of Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan, who was the founder of the Reconstructionist movement in Judaism. And his daughter in 1922 became the very first Bat Mitzvah. And so here we are, celebrating with you. And also knowing, and this portion, this remarkable, challenging, yes, portion of Bamidbar, that in this time of counting, the counting in Torah, the counting of the Omer during the season, it was noted in the Hasidic tradition that there are 600,550 letters in the Torah, if we were to put all of them together. 600,550 letters in the Torah. And we're also told that that is the same number, if you counted in Bamidbar all of the people, it also equaled 600,550. Meaning that each and every individual in the wilderness was also a letter of the Torah. And the Torah would not be complete without them. The Torah, our tradition, would not be complete without you. And so we thank you for your inspiration, for your words, for inspiring, God willing, as we've heard, how people sit in the congregation, they witness this, and they say, I want to do this too. Thank you for that inspiration. And so I'd now like to invite my colleagues, please, to join me here. And as we offer to our B'not Mitzvah the words of the Birkat Kohanim, the words of the priestly blessing, I'd like to ask, please, that we all rise together.
May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai shine upon you and be gracious to you. May Adonai continue to turn towards all of you, towards your immediate families, towards your extended families, towards this sacred community. And together may we strive to create a sense of shalom, a sense of peace.
Amen. Amen.
It has been acknowledged in such a wonderful way that each of our bat mitzvah would not be here literally this moment without the guidance and nurturing spirit of two wonderful teachers, of Laura Yupin and Ed Nickow. And so I'd now like to invite Ed to come forward to share these personal words, and yes, as is appropriate at every bar bat mitzvah, to have gifts that are given from the Temple High family and community.
Shabbat Shalom. First, let me say Yasher Koach. Congratulations to these four amazing women. Tonight, you were not just our worship leaders, but you were our teachers. The stories you shared about each of your journeys to this occasion were not only touching and inspiring, but showed us that despite what at first reading of the text might suggest, our sacred text continue to have meaning for us today. In your Torah portion, Bamidbar, we pick up the story of the former slaves in the wilderness just 2 years after they've left Egypt. And tonight, you've reached a milestone after just 2 years of serious and sometimes not so serious study. The Israelites still have 38 years ahead of them. For those who were slaves, it will literally be a lifetime. They will spend the rest of their lives learning what it means to be a holy people. And for all of you, this is just a beginning, because there's always something new to learn about being Jewish. There's a reason we call it lifelong Jewish learning, and I look forward to studying with you and learning from you for many years to come. At the B'nai Mitzvah of our younger students, Cantor Simon sings a beautiful melody that begins L'dor v'dor, from generation to generation, as the Torah is passed down from grandparents to parents to children. And while we didn't pass the Torah tonight, while I was writing these words, I thought about generations. Because I also teach in our Hebrew school, I have now taught 2 generations of the Sergel and Green families, Barry's granddaughter last year and Barb's son this year. Kitty, I am in awe of the courage of your parents and your grandparents who allowed your mom to travel to an unknown country to meet a pen pal. We said this before, if they haven't heard this. Today, we worry when one of our children goes to Starbucks to meet someone from J-Date. And Stacy, although during our rehearsals, I've heard you tell the story of your talit several times, I am still moved by the way you have memorialized your mother in your very special prayer shawl. So I've got some gifts for you, but before that, we have to mention someone who is also a very special gift to our students, young and old alike at Temple Chai, and that's Laura Yupin, who teaches our third graders and our adults during their first year of Hebrew study before they even know how to pronounce these strange Hebrew letters, much less put them together into words. Without what Laura does, none of what you experienced tonight would be possible. Now, gifts, which are given to you by the sisterhood and the brotherhood and the entire congregation of Temple Chai. I just pulled one of the bags. We have one for each of you over here. Candlesticks for you to use not just on Shabbat, but on our holidays as well, and copies of a wonderful book called On the Doorposts of Your House, in which you will find prayers and readings not just for lighting the candles, but also for hanging mezuzot, building a sukkah, and dozens of other life cycle events. I hope you will use this book often. So Yasher Koach, congratulations, Mazel Tov, good luck, and Todah Rabbah, I thank you very much for giving me the privilege of teaching you this year. Shabbat Shalom.
Well, thank you again, Ed, and Mazel Tov to this part of the B'not Mitzvah class, and Mazel Tov in advance to the B'not Mitzvah experience that we will share next Shabbat. We now return to Mishkan Tefillah. We turn to page 586, and we rise for Aleinu, the adoration. Aleinu l'shabeach l'Adon hakol. Latzei Gedula liyotzeh Bereshit. Shelo asanu kagoyei ha'aratzot. Velo shamanu kimishpachot ha'adama. Shelo sam chelkeinu kahem. V'gor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu.
V'nemar v'ayadonai l'melech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad u'shemo echad
Our gathering this evening comes from a variety of different places, a variety of different communities. But this evening we have created one single kahal, one community, one congregation. And we have created an opportunity not only to celebrate our B'not Mitzvah, but we also create a sacred opportunity for those who are in mourning to join us. For those who are in mourning, to hear the name of their loved one, either who has recently passed away or has died in years past. The first names that we will hear refer to individuals who have recently passed away in the previous month. If you're here to hear the name of your loved one, and if you feel comfortable, please rise as the name of your loved one is read. We first remember Monty J. Meldman, the father of Barbara Rosenberg and grandfather of Jacob, Harold Mallon, uncle of Brian Mallon, Irene Zellen, aunt of Gail Wiener and great-aunt of Jamie and Jason, Blossom Collins, the mother of Michelle Holtzman, Frances Agrest, sister-in-law of Roz Agrest and aunt of Glenn Agrest, Bruce Fallert, stepfather of Annette Burke and grandfather of Alana, Ethan, and Sharon, Harriet Levy, mother of Fran Sachs and grandmother of Corey and Amy and great-grandmother of Mackenzie and Brody, Bernard Meyerson, the uncle of Rabbi Stephen Hart. And now the names we will hear refer to those on our annual yurt site list. We remember Marilyn Adler, Dale Alexander, Gertrude Berman, Greta Erlanger Blair, Jerome Blumenfeld, Curtis Brook, Bernard Chapman, Sam Emil Chester, Rose Eckerling Crost, Goldie Davidson, Kenneth Deutsch, Etta Dicker, Stanley Eisenberg, Loretta Eisner, Lee Esador, Esther Fenton, Ruth Glick, Louis J. Greenberg, Rosella Haas, Shirley Hunter, Ann Katz, Jack Kay, Bessie Levy, Richard David Link, Myra Max, Bertha Paisner, Dr. Max Potashnik, Helena Holly Rosenberg, George Schallman, Ben Schneider, Harry Schulman, Maury Shapiro, Harold Schukart, Sam Sockett, Ann Stewart, Phyllis Sugar, Perry Toscano, Frank M. Roselowitz, Ruth Leah Zeidler, Hyman Zidman. And we also add to our list of memory all of our veterans who stepped forward to defend our nation's freedoms, our principles, our ideals, and our freedom. May all of the memories of these sacred individuals remain a blessing in our hearts and in our lives. Zichronam livracha. Are there any other names that you would like to add to our yahrzeit list this evening? May all of these individuals remain a blessing. We turn to page 598 and recite together the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. We rise. Yitkadal, Yikadash, Shemei Rabbah, Be'alma, Divrach, Hiruteh, Ve'amlich Malchuteh, B'chayechon, U'vyomechon, U'b'chayei Dechol Beit Yisrael, Ba'agala, U'bizman Kariv, V'imru, Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mevarach, Le'alam U'lalmei Almaya, Yitbarach, V'yishtabach, V'yitpa'ar, V'yitromam, V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar, V'yitaleh, V'yitalal, Shmei D'Kudisha, B'richu, Le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, Da'amiram be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya, V'chayim alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, alenu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us, to all Israel, and to all humanity, as we say together, Amen.
Yaseh shalom,
Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Yaseh shalom, Yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael.
Please be seated. This is not meant to create an opportunity for additional exercise, but we rise as we share together our concluding song. Cantor, I believe it is Oseh Shalom.
It is indeed.
Outstanding.
It's working, I think.
Shalom
B'mromav,
hu yaseh shalom aleinu.
Oseh shalom b'mromav,
Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu. Ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav. Hu yaseh
If only you could see what we see, this lots of smiles, the swaying back and forth, the ruach, the spirit, in effect, the dialogue, the exchange of prayer. This is all about the spiritual exchange of prayer, but we also need the physical. We need physical sustenance. So in preparation for what I hope is just a good Shabbat food, which will follow whether this evening or tomorrow, let's all share together words of Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avon. May this be a Shabbat of sustenance, a Shabbat of spirit, and a Shabbat of peace. Amen.
Amen. Shabbat Shalom.